Hey, South Jersey, good Thursday morning to you. A lot of you probably, if you can, are just rolling over and going back to bed. After all, that's what you would do when it's 71 and sunny and spring-like and you're in short sleeves. I even saw some in shorts yesterday. Record high temperature at the Atlantic City Airport, breaking a record from 1965. And then 18 hours later, you look out the window this morning, and for most of us now, it is snow. All right, so the forecast, I've trimmed snow accumulations. We were only supposed to get a coating to 3. Well, now I'm kind of like a coating to 1, maybe 2. So never supposed to be a major event for South Jersey. It is a major winter storm up to our north. All right, blizzard warnings, 12 to 18 inches of snow. Here's your latest radar, all right? And you can see all of South Jersey, for the most part, is now blue. So snow or sleet and snow for most of us, even right down to the shore as well. Heavier blues, actually I'm watching off of Long Island. There's something called what we call gravity waves, which is just intense up and down motion. And once this stuff comes ashore in Long Island, I mean, they can get 4 inches of snow in 1 hour. All right, times 3 hours, you get a foot in 3 hours. I mean, there's going to be some very intense snow with this. The storm is fast moving. I want you to pay attention here. This is the back edge. It's coming in across Delaware. So most of us are snow, and the ground is whitening up. Even though it was warm yesterday, that ground is whitening up. Roads mostly wet, although some will remain snow and slush covered. One great way to kind of track what is happening is I'm going to switch over to this, which is kind of utilizing traffic cameras across the area. All right, and this is the parkway around Brick Township up in Ocean and Monmouth counties, and you can see there is some snow and slush covering. That's around exit 89. If you move south towards, let's go down towards exit 40, and this would be, in Galloway Township. And you can see the ground is whitening up now. Again, nothing major. This is not a major winter storm. It's just impressive or depressing, depending on your point of view, where you look at this picture yesterday, it was sunny and 70. You look at this picture today, and yes, it's a reminder that winter's still here. It's also breezy. We're 32 degrees right now. Of course, most of South Jersey with the snow coming down. So 70 to 32. You factor in a wind, the wind chill's 22. So it feels almost 50 degrees colder in less than a day. Just crazy stuff. Let's take you to the southern end of the parkway right now, and down towards Lower Cape May County. You see the camera shaking. It's breezy, all right, and it actually gets breezier as we go through the day. But this is mostly, there is snow falling in here. And you have to look off in the distance and you can see some white rooftops, but the parkway mostly wet. We go somewhere in between. And again, I love doing this, and this is what I do when I'm not live or doing stuff. You know, we track weather via traffic cameras. This is south of the Cape May Toll Plaza. Parkway mostly wet, all right, but there is snow falling, and with temperatures dropping, there could still be some slick spots out there. But the farther north you go, the more problems you are going to have. Just for comparison's sake, let's go way north and see what's happening around the Driscoll Bridge, the divider between North and South Jersey, and of course that one's not working. We take you up to Monmouth County, and that is just heavy snow. Very, very heavy snow. You can't even see what's going on up there. This is exit 105, if that camera is going to come up. Some of these work, some of these don't. Technology isn't perfect, but you can see the farther north you go, again, these are huge snowflakes sticking to the camera. That's where your problems are. So once again, let's go back to the radar here and show you what's going on. And here's the most recent image. And we had thunderstorms this morning. If you were up, I was driving to work around 4:30, the sky lit up, all right? Lightning, thunder, hail. That is this yellow and orange and red stuff as the storm started exploding. Now, if that had been snow in South Jersey, we would have got 3-4 inches of snow very, very quickly in an hour, but it was rain. All right, now that thunder snow is moving up towards Connecticut and Long Island. That's that real intense stuff. And again, notice the back edge. It is now coming through D.C., through Baltimore, and then into Delaware. So maybe a few hours. So I think everything's done by noon. A coating to an inch, maybe 2. You head north of the Mullica River. You head up towards the New Jersey Turnpike corridor. There'll be a little more, maybe 3 or 4. All right, but the big accumulations are going to be north of 195, the northern half of New Jersey, into New York City, Long Island, and Connecticut as well. That's where those big accumulations are going to be. There was also some tidal flooding this morning. Some minor tidal flooding did occur, and let me call up this chart right here, which shows the tide gauge at the Atlantic City Marina, all right? And in this yellow shading is minor flooding. And there was some minor flooding this morning. Maybe didn't hit that as hard as I should have forecast-wise. What made it worse, actually, was that we had heavy rain during the time of high tide. So that made that flooding. You had poor drainage flooding mixed in with tidal flooding. So you did have some flooded roadways along the shore this morning. Now the tides are going down. All right, we'll be out of flood range now. And once those northwest winds pick up this afternoon, winds are going to be brisk from the northwest. That's going to help empty out the back bays. So I'm not expecting any repeated flooding going on this evening. So that minor tidal flooding threat this morning was just that, a minor morning threat. Here's one of our computer models showing you what's happening with the storm, or what it thinks will happen with the storm. And notice it is a very quick mover. This is just a 15-hour loop. But we go from a storm that's, over New Jersey, just east of Delmarva, and 15 hours later, it's already gone off the map. It's already pulling up towards Nova Scotia. So it is a very, very quick hitting storm. So I think the snow winds down by noon, and then once the snow winds down, that's when the winds really pick up. It's breezy and cold out there this morning, but those northwest winds will gust up to 50 miles an hour this afternoon. That is when wind advisories are in effect for all South Jersey. It is cold tonight, down to 15 to 20 degrees, and that could lead to some black ice forming. So anything that isn't salted or sanded, and any standing water left on the roadways, some black ice could form overnight tonight. So just be wary of that. And wind chills tonight in the single digits. So it's basically wiping out any memory you guys have of the 70-degree weather that we just had. So again, to recap, if you are traveling this morning, roads in South Jersey mostly wet, but as the snow comes down, you got about a 2-hour window where there will be some light to moderate snow. You could get a whitening of the ground, a coating to an inch or 2, and there still could be some slick travel. Travel is slicker, as you saw in those traffic cams. All right, travel is slicker the farther north you go, the farther west you go. All right, that's where travel is going to be worse, up towards Philly, especially Trenton to New York City. If your travel's taken north on the Parkway, that's where things are going to be worse the longest. But even up there, the storm will push offshore by this evening. All right, it's moving very, very quickly. So travel delays will be limited to mainly this morning here in South Jersey, if there are any. There were a few school closings and delays. You can find them on pressofac.com. Some delayed, some closed. Not too many of them. More of them are up to our north and west, and a lot of the state offices are closed today because, as you can see, Trenton's right here, and they're kind of, in the thick of the storm, while we had that rain that kind of, as expected, held down accumulations. So what you can expect for the next 2 to 3 hours is some occasional light to moderate snow, little sleet mixed in maybe along the shore. And then afternoon, this will push offshore. Just some flurries will be left over. All right, so accumulations, a coating to maybe an inch or 2. That's it. All right, more to the north you go, 8 to 12 inches over North Jersey. If I take and show you an accumulation map now, it's pretty impressive what this storm's going to do in such a short amount of time. So let's take you to a snowfall forecast here. All right, and this is, well, actually, let me do a slightly farther south map for you. So here's our snowfall forecast, all right, showing you, and this has actually come down a little bit, 6 to 10 inches of snow for central and North Jersey, and this is 12 inches or more of snow up in southern New England. That's where the snow is going to be greatest. Long Island, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. Blizzard warnings are up for parts of the New England coast as well. Here in South Jersey, this is a coating to an inch, maybe 2. Not a significant snow by any stretch. The bigger deal is just the fact that we go from 70 to snow in less than 24 hours. They say if you don't like the weather in South Jersey, wait a minute, or wait a day and it will change. And sometimes that change is pretty drastic. So the snowfall accumulations will be greater the farther north and the farther east you go. Remember, the storm is really deepening out here, so as it gets its act together, yeah, it makes sense that the further north and east you go, the worse the snow is going to be. All right, so we continue to, let's take it down to the Great Egg Harbor Toll Plaza here, and you can see, the snow is falling here. Visibilities are reduced. The traffic's still moving. I don't expect any major delays, but there could be some slick spots on the roads. This is right around the Great Egg Harbor Bridge. You got that light to moderate snow falling right now, but nothing too extreme. If we take you up towards the Parkway up around the 195 merge, you can see, the ground's a little whiter up there, a little more snow as you work your way in towards Ocean County. And again, we take you just around Galloway. I think this is a nice shot showing you the roads are mostly wet, traffic moving pretty good, but you can see the snow falling, you can see the ground whitening up, and that will continue to be the case. So again, snowfall is minor. Tidal flooding we had this morning, minor, that is done. The winds are probably the one thing that will pick up the rest of today. It gets windier this afternoon. Northwest winds gusting 45, 50 miles an hour. That will be from noon to 6 o'clock. Midday to sunset would be your time for the gustiest winds. Not an impactful storm, even though there were some closings and delays. You can see, traffic moving pretty good. Allow yourself a little extra time, but I'm not expecting any major freeze-ups or anything like that today. But that being said, tonight, once we lose daylight and once temperatures drop to 15 to 20, any untreated surfaces can become slick. So just be wary of that. We will keep you updated. PressOfAtlanticCity.com has your closings and delays. There's a few of them out there, but more up to our north and west. We'll have snow totals on there if there is enough to measure where you are. Really, this is just more of a conversational type storm. Talking about the drastic changes we've seen over the last 24 hours. We will keep you posted, and this live stream on PressOfAC.com is something that we want to do more often and interact with you and, use the live capability of technology nowadays to, real-time forecast, or what I call nowcast, when a storm is happening. So keep it right here, PressOfAC.com, for the latest on this, return to winter. Sunshine comes back tomorrow, then we warm up over the weekend. Although I will say, foreshadowing here, the next couple of weeks, there are a few more windows for storms. Not sure winter or rain or snow or what the details will be, but I do think through February 25th, it's an active pattern, and then it reduces and hopefully flips to spring after that. Thanks for logging on. Thanks for being here, guys. Have a great day.